All right. Good afternoon, students. Now, this video that I'm making here for you, it's mainly for revision purposes. All right. So you would use this video if by chance you forgot how the construction was done, or you forgot a particular step, or sometimes during the live class, you did not hear something that was discussed or some step that was explained, right? So this video here is to help you, especially in your revisions and when you are completing your assignments and so on. All right, so we'll get straight into it. So it is based on the division of a straight line into a number of equal parts. Now, the last lesson focused on bisecting a straight line. And bisecting a straight line means you're dividing it into two equal parts, right? Or in other words, you're finding the center of the line. Now, this one here is where you're dividing a line, a straight line, into a number of equal parts. So generally, if it's more than two equal parts, we want to divide the line into. All right. Now, the line AB is given as 80 millimeters. Right? I did not specify which line, whether it is a horizontal line, a vertical line, or an oblique line. I did not specify. All right, but I'll go through each one of them and I'll show you that the steps are the same. It doesn't matter which line you are dividing, right? The steps will remain the same. So we want to divide that line, which is 80 mm, into 7 equal parts. Now, let me just adjust this 80 and I'll put 70. All right, so that would make it a little bit more easier mathematically so that you can, at the end of the construction, you can check to see if it was done accurately or not. All right, so step one. Step one would be, first of all, to draw the straight line to the given length, right? So the line is given as 70 millimeters, right? So we draw the line 70 millimeters long. All right, so I set my ruler and I would draw my line 70. And of course, some persons were having some issues with finding measurements on the ruler. Some persons, the ruler is in cm, like this one that I have here, but the measurement is given in mm, so they would have to convert. So they're 10 mm in 1 cm. So from 0 to 1, that's 10. Then 2 is 20, then 30, then 40, and so on. So if you want 70, you have to go from 0 all the way to 7. All right, so you draw the line. That's the first step. Draw the line to the given measurement. Now, as I advised the last time, every time you draw, you also need to label. All right, so we label the line, and it doesn't always have to be AB, right? You can use any other letter, all right? AB. Any letter in the alphabet. But normally, I just stick to AB. So the first step, draw the line and label AB. Step two is where we draw an extra line from A. It can be from B, right? Nothing's wrong if you do it from B. But for now, let's do it. Let's draw the line from A. So we place the ruler at A, and please note A is the end of the line, not the letter A. All right, so we draw the line from A going downwards, any length, any angle. There is no specific length given for this line, right? So you just draw it to any length. So that's step two. All right, we draw an extra line going down any length, any angle. All right, and ideally you would want it to be a little closer to the TV line, to the horizontal line, right? not too far away, because the extra space would make it a little bit more difficult for you to come to the construction, right? So try to keep it as close as possible to the AB line. Step 3, we use the pair of compasses to mark off equal divisions on the last line that we draw, that is this line going down. So we mark off equal division based on the amount that we want to divide the line into, which in this case is 7. So we mark off 7 equal divisions. So you place the point of the pair of compasses on A. All right, and you open the pencil point to a nice small length. Let's say somewhere around 1 cm or so. Right, it is not fixed, so you can choose any length you want. Right, so I choose to use this small length here, even though I don't know what particular length is. Right, so just use a nice small measurement and you describe an arc on the line. That is 1. Then you go on that arc and you scribe another 2. Then you go on that one and you scribe another. So we keep doing that, and please use the same measurement. Do not change the length of the compass. All right, we use the same measurement. So that is 4. Keep going. 5. Now this is how we transfer measurements, right? This is an example of how we transfer one measurement into 7 different parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there we have 7 divisions, and it is very important that we number them. 1, 2, and so on, right? Ensure that you number. Labeling is very important. So I am currently numbering, and this should give you time also to do or to practice on your own. Good. So we number. All right, let me just fix them properly. Good. So just to recap again, we start by drawing the AB line, which is the horizontal line. Then we draw an extra line going down, and we mark out 7 equal parts on that line. Now, the next thing we have to do is draw a line from the last division, which is 7, to B. So we take our ruler and we align it from 7 to B. Right, we align it from 7 to B, and we draw our line 7 to B, right? So once we finish with that, then we get ready to move to the other step. Now the other step involves us getting other lines, just like how we get from 7 to B. We want to get other lines from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All of them going to touch the AB line. And they must be parallel, right? They must be parallel. We know what are parallel lines. They go side by side. They are the same distance apart. They go in the same direction, and they never meet at the point, no matter how long you draw them. So in getting those parallel lines, we use a process called sliding, because we can't just put the ruler and average and draw parallel lines, right? We wouldn't know if it's accurate or not. But this method that is called sliding would give us a great indication or a great deal of certainty as it relates to accuracy. So what we do, we take the set square, right? This is a set square that I have there, the triangular looking instrument. We take that and we place one side on the line. Now, what you can do is repeat or try to do exactly what I am doing. All right, so we place the set square. You can use the same set square also that I'm using. All right, because your geometry set has two sets here. One is longer and one is shorter, so you use the shorter one. So after you place that side on the line, then you place another ruler, or you could place the other set square at the base or at the bottom of that set square. Ensure that it fits directly on the side of the set square that is at the bottom part. Right, so it's like you placing one instrument onto the other. So when you finish with that, remember the process is called sliding. So what it means, you're sliding this set square on this ruler. So this ruler should be held in a stationary position, right? This here should not move at all, right? This is what you're sliding on. So it should be stationary. And then you slide this ruler to go to 6. When you reach at 6, you draw your line from 6 up to the AB line. All right, and then you continue sliding. You go to 5 now, and you do the same. Draw another line. And you keep doing that until you reach each one of them. So you go to 4, and then you go to 3. All right, you just keep repeating the same. You go into each one of them. Then 2, and of course, and then 1. All right, so after you would have done that and done so accurately, right, that should give us equal divisions along the AB line. All right, and just to give you a little highlight of those 10 parts, this would be the first one here. This would be the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, right? So 7 parts. I think I get 10 just now. Right, it's 7 parts. All right. Now we know that the AB line is 70 mm, and we divided that into 7 equal parts. So 70 divided by 7 is 10. So each one of these divisions is supposed to be 10 millimeters long. Each one of them, remember, they're supposed to be equal. All right, so just ensure that yours is equal when you finish. If not, it means that you did something wrong when you were scribing these arcs. Probably you make the measurement change, right? So that is the part that has to be equal first. And then if that is okay, then you check your parallel lines. Maybe they are not parallel, right? And those are the 2 main ways or the 2 main reasons why your drawing may not be accurate. All right, so that completes dividing a straight line into several equal parts. Now, that was a horizontal line. Now, if we have a vertical line now, and you want to divide that into other equal parts, let's say that line is 100, and you want to divide that into 5 equal parts, right? 5 equal parts. So the steps remain the same. All you have to do is pick a side, an end rather, and you place your ruler and draw an extra line. like I did earlier with this one here. So you can draw the line from here on this side. You can draw it on the right hand side, or if you want, you can draw them from the bottom going upwards. All right, any side. So you can select any one. All right, but for now, I'll just do it from top to the left hand side. All right, now from that, I would follow the other steps where I take the pair of compasses. Right, I place the point here. Remember, you had to label, right? I did not label because this is just a little explanation, a little example. So I scribe my arcs, and remember it's 5 of them because we divided now into 5 equal parts. There's 2. All right, basically the steps remain the same. All right, the steps remain the same. So we have 4 there, and now we have the last one, which is 5. All right, and if you can remember from the last drawing at the bottom here, we draw a line from the last division, which is number 5 in this case, to the end of the line. All right, now for this one here, same steps apply. You use the set square and you place it on the line. Now the positioning here would be a bit different. So you place it on the line and you take the other ruler and you place it, in this case, it would be at the top. Right, so let's just give ourselves a little bit more space to the top. And we set this ruler directly to the side of that one, right? So again, the blue ruler or the ruler on top, you hold that in a stationary position and you slide this one, set square, onto that ruler. And when you reach divisions, you simply draw your line straight down. All right, now please note you can alternate or you can change the set square. You can place any side you want on that line. All right, so right now I'm choosing the longest side on the set square, and all I need to do here is place this ruler on either side. You can place it on this top left side, on this side here, and you go to the other divisions there, as you can see. All right, you just slide and draw rather. Or you can place the ruler at the bottom, right? And then you slide to the next one, then to the next, then to the next. All right, so there are different positions that you can use in order to obtain those parallel lines. It doesn't have to be one way all the time. All right, so that's just some additional options there for you, right? There's some other ways you can place the set square when drawing your parallel lines. So you would have something similar. Of course, mine is not 100% accurate, right? But it's just an example. So it looks the same, except that it is in a different position, right? Now the same can be done for any oblique line. So if you have an oblique line like this and you want to divide it, then you simply draw your extra line and you mark off your equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how much ever. So we go to 8. All right, and please, this is just a sketch, right? There's no way close to being accurate, but the steps are what I'm trying to demonstrate, right? So from the last one, you draw a line to the end, and then you slide to get the others. All right, so you can divide any line doesn't matter which one of them, which type of straight line, you can just divide any one of them using these steps, right? The steps are the same. Good. So I think that is pretty much clear for everyone. Now, just for the sake of those persons who didn't get this part, this is your homework and assignment. The homework section gives you 3 of them. A vertical line you start with, 99 mm, 5 equal parts. Horizontal line, 77 mm, 3 equal parts. And then you have an oblique line here. You just draw it in the same direction, 107 mm, and you divide it into 9 equal parts. When you finish this, when you practice on this in your exercise book, then you do the assignment on drawing pages. All right, 1, 2, and 3. So you would add that to last week's assignment and you keep them in your folder. And again, I'll advise you, take pictures, send to me so that I can say what, you know what, you can improve in this area or that area so that you can gain maximum marks. All right, good. So that's it for division of straight lines into 4 parts. Now I want to do another one which is very similar to this one. But the only difference is that we're going to divide the straight line into a given ratio, right? So we should understand the concept of ratio by now. Basically, we are dividing the line into 3 parts, but each part has a different length. Well, 2 of them get the same and the other one is different, right? I'm sure you can remember some exercises on ratio from primary school. You know, you were given 10 mangoes, you share it among 3 persons to the ratio 2 to 3 to 3. How many mangoes did each person receive? Right? Similar to that. So all we want to know now is what is the length for each of the parts or each of the divisions in this straight line. Right? So again, we start by drawing the line. It is given as 80. So we draw the line 80 mm long. And just for clarity's sake, if the line was given as 82, then you find 8 and you count 2 of the smaller ones. So that would be somewhere here, right? If you wanted 89, then you find 80. Then you know the center here is 85. Then 86, 87, 88, 89, which is 1 stroke before 90, or 1 stroke before 9. So that should clarify for a few persons. Good. So similarly, what we did for the last one, we're going to do the same, right? Just remember labeling also, right? And now we draw the extra line. So from A, we draw the extra line. And this line again is drawn at any length or any angle. So we draw that line. Now, knowing ratio, the amount of divisions that we have to mark off on this line is determined by the sum of all of these numbers in the ratio. So you add the 3 numbers. So 3 and 3 is 6, and 2 is 8. So we mark off 8 divisions on that line. So we use the pair of compasses and we mark off. And again, I'm sure you notice that these 2, or this one rather, is similar to what we did just now, right? It is very much similar. So we simply mark off the divisions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there we have our 8 divisions. And yes, it's important that we number them. 1, 2, um, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So that took a little time. So we just ensure that we number them. Now, again, similarly from the last construction we did, what you have to do now is from the last division, which is number 8, you take a ruler and you draw a line to B. Right? So from 8, you draw a line to B. So you just adjust that properly and you draw a line from 8 to B. Good. Now, the only difference here is that remember we are dividing AB line into 3 parts. But each part, or let me say portion, the 3 portions, and each portion has a particular number of parts. Right? The first portion has 2 parts, the second has 2, and the third has 2 also. So what I do, similarly to the previous construction, I use my set square in order to obtain the parallel lines. However, the parallel lines, we don't obtain them from each of the divisions, as in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? We don't have to get the parallel lines from each of the divisions, right? We only have to get from 3 of them. And that is because of the ratio method, right? So the first one we must go to is the 2, right? And of course that is here. And please note, the first portion has 2 parts, which is 1 and 2. All right, so we go straight to 2 and we draw our line from 2. All right, so we don't need anything from 1. We just need it from 2. Now the second one is 3 parts away from 2. Right, so instead of drawing it from 3, we have to count 3 parts from 2. So if we to count 3 parts, that would give us 1, 2, 3. So now we have to go to 5 and draw that line. So from 5, we draw that line here. All right. Now the next portion, which has 3 parts, would take us to 8, because 5 and 3 is 8. And we already have that line from 8, right? So we don't have to do another one. So that gives us our 3 portions. 1, 2, and the last one here is 3. All right, 3 portions. Now, if we to calculate the length for each one of these portions, it would be, when you add the ratio, you get 8. So it would be 80 divided by 8, that would be 10. Right? And then you multiply the 10 by each one of the numbers in the ratio. So 10 twos, 20. So the first part is supposed to be 20 mm. The second part is supposed to be 30. And the third part is supposed to be 30 also. So 30 and 30 is 60 plus 20 gives you back 80. All right, so that is the whole idea about this, dividing this line into a given ratio. All right, the steps are similar to that of dividing a straight line into several equal parts, right? Except that you would not be drawing lines from each one of these parts. It's only based on the numbers in the ratio. All right. Now, the same steps would apply for any of the straight lines. All right. What is a vertical line? An oblique line? The steps will remain the same. All right. Let me just delete these. Good. So if you were working with a vertical line like this, again, you have options. You can draw the line from here to this side or on that side, right? Or you can draw it from the bottom, going to this side or to that side. So let me just draw it from the bottom, going upwards to the right hand side. All right, so if the ratio in this case was if the ratio was 1 to 3 to 2 to 4. Yes, if the ratio was 1 to 3 to 2 to 4, then it means that you had to mark off 4 and 2, 6 and 3, 9 and 1, 10 parts on this line, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then from the last division, you draw to the end of the line here. After which you slide, and I'm not going to go through the process of sliding here, right? I'll just explain. You slide to go to 1, which is the first division here, right? So you'd have this line looking something like that, right? A little short line there. Then you count 3 places, 1, 2, 3. That line would come from here. And then you count 2 places, 1, 2, and that line would come from there. And then you count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this line that we started with. So you don't have to do another line here. All right. So if this line here was 100 mm, right, and you divide it to the ratio here, then you can simply do the calculation, which is 100 divided by 10, which would be 10. All right. So the first part of this line here would be 10. The second part would be 30. The third part would be 20. And then this last part here would be 40. Right? So when you add up the 3, 40 and 20, 60 and 30 is 90 and 10, it gives you back the 100. All right. So that's a different scenario in terms of the direction of the line that we use, which is the vertical line. The same step would apply if the line is vertical. All right, the same step would apply. So that's it for dividing a straight line into a given ratio. All right, now this one again comes with some that you have to do for homework as well as assignment. Right, it's very much similar to the one that I showed you just now. Right, in terms of the line that you're using and the length and so on. The only difference is that you're given a ratio. Right, so just ensure that you complete these. All right, I know I did not go in details as to how the vertical line is done, but if you follow the same steps of that of the horizontal line, then this shouldn't be any problem. And of course, it makes you think a little bit more. So I'm not just telling you or showing you everything. All right, I gave you the basic, and now you need to apply those knowledge or apply that skill to solve problems that are a bit different. And that is how life is. All right, people don't tell you everything. You gotta one, two times, you gotta focus and make your own assessments and apply your knowledge in order to solve various problems that you would have in your life, right? So use what was demonstrated to complete what was not demonstrated. All right, so with that being said, thank you very much. Um, I do hope that this video helps you and that you will use it, especially in your revision and in completing your assignment. So, goodbye.